All right, so today I'm going to go over using Copilot Workspace, which I can get to from a repo here. If I have access to this, it is in beta or a preview right now. I can start out by giving it a task. And the task I want today is take my fish.files and modify the deviations that use to instead use. So I'm going to start with this task. Essentially what this refers to, I've got abbreviations, which are aliases. I've got one GHR right now that maps to GitHub reference. I don't want this anymore. So I want it to get rid of this. And then down below, I have some aliases for GitHub run. So I want this to be GHR for GitHub run. Then I want GHR and then R for rerun. And then GHR and L for run list, etc. So I want GHR to be the prefix here. I don't want it to have to be entirely GH run. So I'm going to see if it can figure this out and make this change and reconcile that up above with the GHR that I have right now that needs to be removed. And then also there's one complicating factor in here, and that's that I'm already using GHRL for a different abbreviation, and I don't want it to get rid of this one. I want it to figure out how to reconcile this problem if at all possible. So this will be a collision for it. So this should be a good challenge. All right, so that's the task I want it to perform. Get rid of a current GHR and address any collision with other abbreviations. Start that task. That'll take me out to a new workspace with a new session. It'll generate a specification which should have a title that reframes things in terms of a question. Yeah, you can see here it's reworded it to be a question. Have the abbreviations that use GHRun been modified to use GHR yet? And has the GHR reference abbreviation been removed without causing any collisions with other abbreviations? So that's a good question. That makes sense. All right, so we have the current state. It's going to redescribe the state of the repository as I've told it from this particular task and from this particular topic summary. And then it's also going to set up a proposed state. So this is before and this is after. So before, no, the abbreviations using GHRun have not been modified to use GHR. Checkbox. The abbreviations GHR to reference has not been removed. Good. No evidence of collisions with other abbreviations due to GHR. Not right now, that's correct. Relevant file. Cool. It found, well, this is not exactly the relevant file. That's the entry point for sourcing my fish configuration files. That's not the file that's actually going to be modified. We need to change this. This instead, it's in here in compat, and it's this file right here. Yeah. Let's just copy that. Can I paste that? Yeah, I can. All right, now that's correct. Let's make sure it opens it up. Yep, good. Okay, next, proposed state. Yes, the abbreviations using GHRun have been modified now. Okay, so it's answering the question more or less. The abbreviation GHR to GH reference has been removed, and no collisions with other abbreviations have occurred due to these changes without reconciling them too. All right, so now that we have that, I'll generate the plan, which is a high-level overview. You can think of this as a high-level implementation, bird's eye view. So it's going to come up with tasks or checkbox, more or less. Okay, remove the abbreviation, yep. Modify all abbreviations using GitHub run to use GHR instead. Ensure no collisions. All right, that's correct. And that's with regards to this particular file. So go ahead and implement that. Now it's going to go to that file. It's going to look at it. It's going to recreate the entire file, and it'll show me a diff of that over on the right here of before and after with its proposed changes. So it's working on the implementation, and the summary of that is right here. Here's that plan we had, and you can see which steps it's working on right now. Once one of these completes, it'll mean that it's done with that part. This one should complete first because it's at the top of the file. This one is probably going to get stuck on because I didn't give it a lot of details. I'm just hoping it can find where the collision is at and somehow prompt me to help it in some way, shape, or form. Okay. They all completed at the same time. Cool. So get rid of that one. Good deal. It commented out. Okay, sure. I really would just get rid of it, but I'll leave that for now. I don't want to be pedantic. Seriously? What happened to GHRun being renamed to GHR now? Are you kidding me? See if we can prompt it to fix it. Didn't rename the GHRun aliases to GHR. Do it again. Okay, and when I added that, you can see it put it down here in the list of tasks that are part of the plan now. So I could have just added an item here and then clicked regenerate. Wonder if I should have reworded that differently. Like, make sure you do this because it's already up here. So now here's me bitching about it and it's going to be totally confused now. I was hoping it would just figure this one out, that this wouldn't be rocket science. Okay. All right. It made some changes. However, dear God, it just redid all of them to GHR. I said asterisk for a goddamn reason. Are you serious? All right, let's do this. I.e. GH run L now becomes GHRL. And I'm going to get rid of this feedback because I don't think that's actually necessarily that helpful. I think it's just being stupid initially. Update the files. Will it just fix it, or do I have to do all of them? Oh, okay, update the files must be like re-implement the one file. I sped some of that up, by the way. Oh, that's wonderful. I did not ask you to get rid of this, and yet you did this time. Lovely. Actually, not only that, oh no, yeah, you did get rid of the alias that I want. I wanted this one kept. So in that case, I'm not going to ask it to redo things. I'm just going to tell it I want that one kept. All right, for these, it still did it wrong. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? What do I have to do? Who do I have to pay? How the hell can I slap the shit out of you? This is obvious as day. What is the problem here? Do I have to be very, very specific here? All abbreviations with the prefix. I mean, how hard is that? Tell it it's the prefix now. Try again. All right. Still doing what I didn't ask to be done, but whatever. How about down here? Did we get this right yet? No, we did not get this right yet. Okay. This is so incredibly disappointing. I've had previous runs that were not as terrible as this, but I'm just going to stop for now. I hate to take conclusions away from this at this point, but I've run through a few different tasks and I'm not that impressed. And honestly, if I have to know everything about what's going to be changed, then what's the point of even using this tool in the first place? This is actually straightforward in my opinion. I don't understand why this is so difficult. This is actually straightforward enough. Now, the one thing I was expecting it to mess up on is the collision with GHRL and also GHRD. I guess I didn't see that one. I was expecting it to somehow flag these and say, we'll have a problem with these. When it was generating the plan, it should have said something like, deal with the fact that you'll collide with these. I even had that original specification that included no collisions. Okay, I totally give up for today. My takeaway at this point is I'm totally not impressed, which is not really that surprising. This is not exactly the easiest of tasks to automate. These LLMs and AI systems, in my opinion, they're better at looking up information, and that's about all they really do well. They're great for retrieval, extraordinarily efficient, especially if the retrieval doesn't have to be specific to a right answer, and instead there's a whole field of possible correct answers. They do really well. But beyond that, I haven't seen evidence that these are going to do really well at performing any sort of specific task, especially not with the fact that it's not reliable to get a correct outcome, let alone a consistent outcome. And I feel like those are really important in terms of coding. That said, I don't want to judge this until I've had a chance maybe to see what other people have done with it and to use it more myself and see if there isn't some way that this could be used efficiently.